Hey everyone, how you doing? So, PVZ Match. Yep, still the weirdest game we've gotten from PopCap. Glad that hasn't changed since my last video. I mean, unless you count games that come from colleges. Wow, PVZ has some weird history, doesn't it? Okay, I'm getting off topic. There's a reason why I'm talking about this game today. So, as you might know, or don't, because who actually cares about Match, you might be familiar with the second beta for this game. By all accounts, it was fine. I mean, it was a match 3 game, kind of boring because it was easy, but we've seen a lot worse. Well, it looks like Chilingo and Chocolate Panda cooked a little bit, and we recently got a brand new beta. And spoilers, it's actually different. Wow, way to make PVZ 3 look depressing in comparison. So yeah, today's video is going to be my honest thoughts and opinions on this brand new beta, and you might be very interested to hear what I have to say because it's not bad. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. But I'm getting ahead of myself and what I want to discuss, so let's jump right into it. But first, Floral Federation. Join if you like PvZ and want to be in the Match Nation, aka my channel. That is all. I like keeping the promos short, let's get to the meat of this beta. Alright, let's start with some stuff that hasn't changed. I think this is one of the easier things to discuss, because really it's not like much has truly shifted for the core gameplay. In fact, almost nothing has for the base levels. I mean, yes, there's some new textures and such for the icons and new sounds maybe? Here's the thing. I was watching fucking Skypea when I played the initial beta. I'm not kidding. And I pretty much didn't record any sound that isn't just Zoro yelling like Tarzan. Anyways, the game still reuses PvZ adventures and Garden Warfare sounds, so whatever. Other stuff that remains basically unchanged includes the story, in the biggest quotation marks ever because this is a fucking slideshow. And of course, the level gimmicks themselves have not seen many changes either. But that's about it for the old stuff. And wow, we actually have more to discuss here. Okay, so let's start with some of the new retextures then. Every plant that was in the last beta got changed. All of them. I think this is both for the better and for the worse. Let me explain why though. First of all, can you even remember the old plants? I'm gonna give you a few seconds. Okay, yeah, if you couldn't remember, and I wouldn't blame you, it was Homing Thistle for 4 tiles in a row, Rotobaga for 2x2, Bombogranate for 3x3 in an L shape, and finally Pinwheel Flower for 5 tiles in a row. So, what changed here? Well, it wasn't the gimmicks or how you get the matches, but it was actually the plants using them that got swapped. Now it's Split Pea replacing Homing Thistle replacing Rotobaga, Cherry Bomb replacing Bombogranate, and finally, Starfruit replacing Pinwheel Flower. Yep, that's right, a pretty unique plant that's only been in this game by the way, was snuffed out by my favorite plant in PvZ. That's a double-edged sword right there. Ouch. Now, what makes these changes good and what makes them bad in my opinion? Well, simply put, they make more sense in terms of being good. I never mentioned it in my initial video, but Homing Thistle being a lane clear felt really weird to me. Like, doesn't it make more sense to make it an objective attacker? Well, clearly Chocolate Panda thought about that and made it that way, which I'm pretty happy about. You know what I'm a little bit unhappy about though? This feels like fan service. I mean, yes, I know it's kind of necessary to get some people interested, but I still don't like it. You guys know how I feel about this fan service. I've made an entire video on it. And while I love Starfruit being here, I also feel really bad for Pinwheel Flower because that was a plant that was made uniquely for this game. And yet, it was shafted for brand recognition. That is a bummer. But we'll move on, it's whatever for gameplay's sake. All of the plants and combinations work the exact same as before, so it's fine. But that's pretty tame compared to the other big change here, and that is a new level type. In a match 3 game. Oh my god. You can tell I was excited for this part because look at my Twitter. I got no likes on this post. Follow anyways. Also subscribe. Also share. Also like the video. Also binge all of my content. This new level type is really interesting too because it sort of loops around a zombie match. Okay, so hear me out. There's a bunch of zombies on the board, and underneath all of them are your tiles that you need to match. What happens here is basically a recreation of PVZ, where the zombies move one tile forward every few matches until they reach the end of the screen. Then they walk off and take a brain heart from you. If 3 of them get past the matching tiles, you lose. So to counteract this, you can match tiles to deal damage to zombies in specific lanes, as each matched tile shoots a P. This can get chaotic fast, but I love that. Every plant here was designed to work with this level type too, as Homing Thistle and Split Pea work perfectly damage-wise. It's just a really neat idea, and I actually wish we got more of this in the game. But alas, there's only about 15 zombie levels, and the other 60 are normal. Kind of. Okay, it's gonna be hard to ignore the elephant in the room regarding this beta, and ultimately my one big issue with this game: the difficulty. Holy shit, this game gets unfair. Okay, so the last match beta didn't really have a whole lot going on. This was both pretty bad and pretty good at the same time. Like, it never got cruel, you get me? But I almost wanted it to, just to make things interesting. Yeah, well, this beta decided to go down that path, and damn did it go down. There's just something here. Something off about the RNG. Like, yes, this is a match 3 game, of course RNG is going to play a part in how successful you are every level. But this game sometimes gives you almost no room to breathe, and you end up using half of your moves just trying to open up the board. So what ends up happening is you get stuck in a position where you're doomed from the very start because the game didn't give you the tiles you needed. And look, this wouldn't be much of a problem, right? At least if there was no life system. But this is a modern mobile game, and of course, it has one. And I'll admit it, I ran out of lives multiple times here. And it was almost entirely on 3 specific levels too. That's annoying as hell. Now there are power-ups that can help you in this title, but they don't really make much of an impact because they're just plants. Like, apparently there's going to be more in the future, but until that happens, we're stuck with these 3. Whatever. Doesn't help that they cost coins. Ugh. Yeah, okay, so overall I do think this game is better, and I'm not going to act like it isn't. Seriously, this is a pretty big step up from the last beta. Hell, I'd even call it a good match 3 game, but not a good PVZ game. Those 2 things are completely different, and unfortunately, this just isn't a good Plants vs. Zombies title. But for what it is, I think it's fine. If I had to make one comparison in terms of how good this beta is compared to the other 2, it's like saying that a modern Family Guy joke has a better joke than one from Season 1. It might seem like a major difference until you realize that Season 1 of Family Guy wasn't all that funny to begin with.
Whoa, ass ahoy.
And with that being said, I think that's my final conclusion on the game for now. If you want to check out the project, hey, look at that! It's on the Android Play Store right now. Or you can get the APK yourself in the Floral Federation Discord server. Regardless of what you do, I think it's safe to say that it's worth checking out if you ever played Zombie Match or old PVZ Match. Seriously, it is that different. And that's just crazy. Like, I didn't think I'd ever recommend this game, but if you've played the other ones, fuck it, you might actually like this game. Also, if you're new around here and you like what you see, then maybe consider subscribing too. It helps me out a ton, and you get to see me yap about PVZ and other stuff more, so yeah. We also recently hit 28,000 subscribers. Damn, thank you all so much, that's crazy. And finally, big shoutouts to Watfa, Dan B, and Nicholas Vankowski for being extra YSI members on my channel. You all rock, thank you so much for supporting my content the way you do. Now, as for me, I'm gonna go ahead and play the objectively better PVZ match, Begooled. You know, something actually fun. Peace.